All right, now it's time to get really bluesy. A good example of this is our study of minor playing. Now, minor playing, what makes minors, we take our major scale, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, and we lower the third, the sixth, and the seventh. So our B becomes B flat, our E becomes E flat, our F sharp becomes F natural. So we have those three lowered notes. Well, we learned in that lesson that if you focus on staying within the blues scale, which is root, flat third, okay, that's a note we need, fourth, flat fifth, that's not part of any of the scales that we've studied except the blues scale. It's a very dissonant note, but remember, blues is all about creating dissonance and then resolving dissonance. Actually, all music is based on that. We have our fifth, our flat seventh, so that's our bluesy note. That's part of our minor scale as well. And we go back to our root. So root, flat third, fourth, flat fifth, fifth, flat seventh, and octave. So to play in minor or to play very, very bluesy, it works in either approach. We need to focus on the blues scale. Now, since we have a lesson on the blues scale in minor playing, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but let's take a look at it a little bit here. So it says here on our second example in section number 1, bluesy minor playing, blues scale, second position. So here is 1 blow to 2 draw. Yeah, 2 draw to 6 blow. Six blow to 9 blow. Nine blow to 10. Not a lot of players use that in their improvising, but I put it there to be technically correct. Going down. Yeah, that's really bluesy. So we do the same thing. We really get to know the range of the harmonica going up and down. It's a good idea to do it as whole notes, half notes. Half notes would be hold that note for 2 beats. Quarter notes, hold that note for 1 beat. Swing eights, ba 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 ba. Triplets, ba 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 ba. Really get to be able to develop the skill to be able to move across that range in different rhythms. And then, of course, you want to focus on one range. So if I grab my jam track, it says jam in G minor. The reason why I like to do a jam track in minor, even though to play very bluesy does not necessarily mean minor, it just means it's a very dark blues that's still in major, but really focusing on those bluesy notes, not the major notes. That's what gives it a dark feel. So if we play to something that's got a really dark feel, in this case minor, it's as dark as you can get. If you hit a note that is outside the blues scale, man, you can hear it right away. It just sounds really bad. So I like that for that reason. Now, this one is in G minor, so I need to grab my C harmonica to play in second position. So grab your C harmonica. Let's take a listen to the track. Has a flat third in there, it's really dark. Flat third for the 4 chord, root, flat third, fourth, flat third, root. Da, 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 da. Yeah, so it has a really dark feel. Let me go ahead and improvise using just the first hole and second hole on the harmonica. I'll start on the 2 draw. After working that for a while, a couple days, a week, couple weeks, whatever it takes, go back to it and then focus on the first 3 holes. Really dial in, especially that 3 bend. Alright, I think you get the idea. You've done this before. And work each range of the instrument, be able to go from high to low, etc. And then the end result would be, here is moving across the entire range, but with phrasing, right? dark and heavy and bluesy, right? That's what the blues scale has to offer. Again, if I was to teach this to a new player within their first year, this scale to a certain degree would be useless. It would be helpful just to maneuver them up and down the range of the instrument, at least give them some notes to say, hey, if you stay within these notes, you can probably do okay. Will it sound good? Well, it won't sound bad because they're staying away from, quote unquote, the bad notes. But is it going to sound like anything we want to listen to? Nah, it's just going to be a guy wandering around a scale, meaningless, no lick ideas. Well, what if they put a little bit of time into it and they play, say, a 2-bar lick based on the blues scale? Then they repeat it, and then they move away somewhere, still in the blues scale, and then they come back. Now they're starting to phrase. That's going to sound a little bit better. But again, it really starts with lick vocabulary first, then the scale, and then the ability to apply that scale dynamically as they're playing those licks. So first, lick vocabulary is so important. And really in my easily the first 3 years of teaching, first 3 to 5 years, I don't even bring in scales to my students. It's all about rote, memorize this song, memorize this song, memorize this song. I want to give them vocabulary. I'm teaching them how to utilize it in improvising as well. But truthfully, improvising, unless you're an above average student to a certain degree is best taught after the first 5 years of playing. So you're studying these songs, you're developing your lick vocabulary, you're building this storehouse, and now you're able to move around and use some licks and use some of the chorus form stuff that I've taught you. Now you can say again, go into that third person, and as you're playing, oh, I better be careful, don't hit 2 blow there. It's not in the scale. The 2-draw whole step bend is in the scale, right? So you're able to circumvent playing that I usually go here movement to go to the 2 bend. So it obviously takes a lot of time and experience to be able to make that happen. But that is the art of using a scale. So, minor and bluesy playing. If the song is really dark and bluesy, could be in minor, could be in major, but very, very bluesy form of it, the blues scale is the most appropriate scale. So do not play notes outside of that scale, and you're guaranteed it's going to sound at least not wrong. And how inspired it sounds depends on your vocabulary and your ability to dynamically place it into context with good phrasing, etc. All right, so let's move on to our third study, the mixture.